Hi, my name is Moshe Zeldman. I'm a teacher at Aish Torah here in Jerusalem. One of the problems I find with studying Judaism, not in the original language, studying it in English, is that a lot of ideas, a lot of words get lost in the translation. One of the classic words is the word mitzvah. The word mitzvah is often translated as commandment. Now I know when I heard the word commandment, I have this vision of God up in the sky commanding, thou shalt not. And it sounds kind of heavy, and it sounds kind of challenging to live that kind of understanding of Judaism. The word in Hebrew is mitzvah. And the rabbis point out that the word mitzvah, within it is the word tzav. And tzav means connection. A mitzvah is not something that you obey. A mitzvah is something you use to connect to God. And that is such a paradigm shift because it now turns the whole concept of mitzvot, commandments, into the idea of opportunities to connect. You really end up looking at Judaism as a path of building a relationship with God rather than a system of having to obey God. The idea of a commandment is it's all about obedience. The idea of mitzvah is it's all about connection. Once you frame it as connection, you now look at the whole idea of God commanding me and requesting things from me in a whole new light. If it's a relationship, if I'm trying to build a relationship with God, one of the golden rules of relationship is you relate to people in the way they want to be related to. Relationship is not what do I feel like telling you, how do I feel like treating you. Relationship is if I care about you and I want to connect to you, I want to connect to you in your terms. I want to understand you in a way that you want to be understood. So commandments are where God is really saying, mitzvot are where God is saying, these are the ways, these are the channels that I'm giving you to understand me more deeply. When you rest on Shabbat, you're getting in tune with what the idea is of stepping back and enjoying what you've created. When you look at the idea of prayer, prayer is not just I'm talking to God the way I feel like it. It's relating to God in the way that God wants us to relate to Him. So God might say, I want you to get up in the morning, and the first thing you should do is you should say, Moda Ani, thank God I'm alive. I'm not thanking God that I'm alive because His ego needs the thanks. It's God saying, if you wake up in the morning and your first thought is Moda Ani, thank you, you'll appreciate your life more deeply. You'll see it as a gift. You'll see it as God giving you the opportunity to be thankful and grateful for the gift. So this paradigm means you can now look at every mitzvah in Torah, and instead of asking the question, how do I use it to obey God? You use the mitzvah and you say, how does this mitzvah build my relationship with God? Prayer, Shabbat, holidays, negative commandments like not gossiping about people, making blessings on food. Every mitzvah is just another opportunity to build and strengthen the relationship. Our challenge is to turn a mitzvah from being something we do by rote, without thinking, into channeling it into a relationship. I know that prayer is very difficult. We say the same thing every day. Every day, 3 times a day, we make the same prayers. But I also know, as a man who's been married for over 20 years, that I tell my wife every day that I love her. And after 20 years, she never gets sick of hearing it. Because when I say it, I mean it. It's a relationship. It's not just a formula that I say. When prayer becomes a way of really talking to God rather than obeying God, it becomes a relationship. And the whole idea of mitzvot is just the way to make the best relationship possible.